Carey. This is so cool. When I chew, your mouth moves. Watch. This is the first time I use this. Anywho, I decided that this would be way cooler instead of a rap. It's gonna be kind of like a rap, but not a rap. But I promised I would make you something, so I'm gonna make you something by this. And the reason why I'm not showing my face is because it's nighttime and you can't see me. And I look a mess because I got this like cream on my face. So I don't want to see. I don't want you to see me like that. And I thought this guy was pretty cool, anyways. So yeah. So here's your story, and I hope you enjoy it, and anybody else who watches it.
Space is full of planets so big you can't even stand it. But there was one special planet on this special day that gave the universe simple ways. Ways of just happy, ways so unique. And it all started with a girl named Angie. You see, Angie lived on the planet Zuli, only full of howdies and hoolies. She was very different from the hows and the whos, never understanding what they do. Hows and whos only did what they were supposed to do. Went to work, then back to sleep. They never had fun or anything, always greeting each other, "Hi," or "Hello there," without stopping for a hug or even glance a stare. Angie didn't like what she was told to do. She wanted to be different from the others' point of view. She would always sneak into the Craterlone Zoo. The place was deadly and not a place for a how or a who. She sang with the Nulays and played with the ladder doors, always finding new ways to discover this weird world. However, Mr. Canterpoop didn't enjoy what she would do. He approached Angie in a very serious tone. "Leave the Craterlone and just go home." She was just very scared, and so she was left as she was told. Didn't disobey or ever go play in the zoo. After a month, her mother saw Angie's frump. "Angie, why the frown? Why don't you go see the town?" But she didn't want to see. She wanted to play with the ladder doors and the Nulays. She was determined to go back in the zoo, no matter if Canterpoop knew. So one late morning, she snuck through her window and ran to the Craterlone Zoo, making sure she blended in that no how or who could have known. As soon as she got to the zoo, she leaped with joy, ready to bloom. She felt so free, as if she could be anything. The Craterlones were so happy she returned, they licked her quirks and began the fun. She sang all day, laughed at everything with might, not realizing the track of time. By the time night awoke, she realized she wasn't home. Her parents were probably scared. She left the zoo worried, not caring what how or who stared. She stood in front of the door, wondering what yelling could occur. Nervous what would happen, she stepped through the door, expecting the worst. But what she got were tears of happiness. Her parents were so glad that she was alive. Her parents hugged her with all her might, asking what had happened and why she gave them such a fright. She explained to them about the Craterlone Zoo, about the adventures she's had, and Mr. Canterpoop. "I love that zoo. I don't care what Mr. Canterpoop says. That is my place of fun, and that is where my life has begun. I hate the planet we live on. All everyone does is do what they're supposed to do. Go to work, they just live their life straight through. I'm not like the hows or the whos. I love life, and I want to continue to play in that zoo." Well, her parents were so shocked they didn't know what to do. They told Angie to go to her room, and they would figure out how to approach this whole spiel. It wasn't until a few days later that Angie's voice was heard. She spoke for the world and how the hows and the whos, they needed some change, and Angie knew what to do. So they made her mayor, and she reopened the Craterlone Zoo. People found new ways to have fun and enjoy Zuli. All due thanks to Angie Carey.
First rule, never let them change you. Rule 2, do you to the fullest, and never be ashamed to. You just good at what they can't do.